It's time for a death battle!
Rewritten.
Superman, Thor, the god of thunder.
He's strong enough to shoulder press the weight of the earth for 5 days straight, or crush coal into perfectly cut diamond. He's fast enough to reach the edge of the universe in seconds, or even break the bonds of infinity.
However, for Death Battle, we take the characters at their best.
Yeah, like how his breath is so powerful he can sneeze away a solar system, or blow air cold enough to freeze ghosts!
Speaking of, his X-ray vision doesn't just see through walls, he can see through your own body and mind to examine your soul.
And yet, he can't see through lead. That's okay though, he can just burn through it with his face. Since he gets his power from the yellow sun, his heat vision burns with the fire of a star. And if beams aren't enough, he can blast it out of his whole body for a super flare. It used to totally drain him, but he's learned how to control it.
Simply put, Superman's powers defy physics. My favorite examples of this are when he rebuilt the reality warping miracle machine from memory, or punched Brainiac so hard every version of him felt it through all of time, or when he gained 10 years worth of medical training through only 5 minutes of reading and then successfully performed lung surgery.
Nice. My favorite example is when he smelled brownies in North Dakota from orbit.
Even beyond his powers, Superman is no novice when it comes to the intricacies of battle.
He's trained in Kryptonian martial arts, which uses chi, or as they call it, Shriar. He even got summoned to Asgard to fight demons with Thor for 1,000 years.
Superman can resist being erased from existence, such as tanking Darkseid's Omega Beams. Even Retcon and the Time Trapper, both of which hijack and alter timelines, can't touch him. Not because of his powerful mental defenses or healing factor, but because he's a cosmic linchpin in the greater metaverse.
Timelines literally revolve around him. Basically said everything in the main series is kinda canon, even when he had wacky powers like changing his appearance with a super muscular control. Ew. I guess he can still phase through almost anything, even people.
Still, this new canon has affected his abilities. For example, he and other Kryptonians can effortlessly travel through time. And while Superman's powers stem from the Earth's yellow sun, exposure to a blue star increases them even further. In fact, upon visiting a white star, he attained a whole new level of power.
When that old baldy Lex teleported him to another galaxy, Superman just popped back up, saying space-time has lost its meaning for him. He really just said that.
Remember, Superman defies physics.
Like when he used heat vision to restart the universe by making an all-new Big Bang.
We've seen that his universe has a radius of at least 100 trillion light years, but we can calculate a more exact figure. The DC universe is 15 billion years old and expands at 60 trillion light years per half second. This means its radius must be over 50 nonillion light years across.
What? That's 31 zeros, and Supes helped make that happen.
Well, about 1/5 of it. That's still immense power, but if you want something bigger, here's the Anti-Monitor blasting Golden Age Superman with all the energy of the antimatter universe. And then Superman,
punched him so hard it kickstarted another one of those reboots.
Now, Superman does have weaknesses. There's kryptonite, of course, and exposure to red starlight can fade his powers over time.
Not all at once. He has been able to move planets around while under a red star, so...
And everyone knows Superman can't deal with magic, but it's more accurate to say he doesn't have any special resistances to it. He's defeated plenty of magic users before, even Shazam, such as when he took on the World Forger, one of the most powerful reality shapers in all of creation.
Who was in the 6th dimension, crafting a whole new multiverse to replace the one Clark calls home. Who's gonna stop him?
Superman could, and the Forger knew it. So he was trapped on a world with a sun so distant he could never escape. Or so the Forger thought.
Instead, Clark found the strength he needed to fly at that sun, dip through a ton of stars, KO the World Forger, and shatter his new multiverse with a single punch.
Thor's Asgardian body is immensely durable, immune to disease, and capable of healing far faster than any mortal man.
He's also the literal god of strength. We're talking lifted a planet-sized serpent strong, knocking out the Phoenix Force strong, arm wrestling with Hercules and almost throwing the Earth out of orbit strong.
Notably, he was once blasted with a graviton bomb, which subjected him to the gravity of a neutron star. That's over 200 billion times greater than Earth's gravity.
And he's got the stamina to match. Nice. Able to fight for 40 days and 40 nights without stopping.
And what better weapon for the god of storms to wield than a sentient cosmic storm, or Uru, that he would forge into his son's hammer, Mjolnir.
He can channel bolts of lightning, manipulate the weather, open portals to other dimensions, and absorb and redirect energy attacks. Or just suck it out of your body against your will, like with this radiation dude. The presence. Not gonna be present for much longer, bud.
He's even used 2 Mjolnirs to absorb the power of the God Bomb, which would have killed every deity in existence across time and space.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. Mjolnir can transmute the elements, turn Thor invisible and intangible, let him travel through time, and even bring people back to life. And if Thor wants to fly, all he has to do is take it for a spin. Literally.
And when he does, it flies fast enough to cross the entire galaxy in seconds.
Unlike Thor's big-ass axe, Yarnbjorn, it's sharp enough to cut through celestial armor, and it's unbreakable.
But should he face an enemy beyond the likes of even his world-shattering strength, Thor can harness his inherent godly power into one single ultimate attack, the God Blast.
God is right. Even Galactus, the devourer of worlds, shit his pants and bounced at the sight of such an awesome attack. He's battled Thanos, the Silver Surfer, and even the Sentry.
The Sentry is strong enough to contend with the World Breaker Hulk, a being strong enough to destroy the Marvel Universe over 100 times over.
And fast enough to demolish Ares, the Greek god of war, who can fight within the span of Planck time. That's like the tiniest amount of time that we can imagine.
Or has tanked disintegration beams trying to tear apart his atoms one by one, survived Mephisto trying to consume his soul, and even withstood a temporal rift that aged normal people to dust.
This big machine called the World Engine was controlling Yggdrasil, the world tree that connects 10 universe-sized realms.
The World Engine's purpose was to mechanically trick Yggdrasil into disrupting the natural flow of Ragnarok, the end of the world.
So Thor just pushed it and literally reversed the flow of fate Saturday.
And he'd go a step further and defeat the mysterious elder gods that manipulated the cycle of Ragnarok in the first place, ending it forever. Of light.
But scaling to Ares, moving within Planck time? Thor would be over 70 quadrillion times faster than the universe in seconds, or even break the bonds of infinity. Meanwhile, Vegeta had no way to match the God Blast, which could have killed friggin' Galactus. And that guy has threatened the infinite multiverse with destruction just as a side effect of his battle.
Such as when he took on the World Forger, one of the most powerful reality shapers in all of creation.
Who was in the 6th dimension, crafting a whole new multiverse to replace the one Clark calls home. Who's gonna stop him?
Superman could, and the Forger knew it. So he was trapped on a world with a sun so distant he could never escape. Or so the Forger thought.
Instead, Clark found the strength he needed to fly at that sun, dip through a ton of stars, KO the World Forger, and shatter his new multiverse with a single punch.